Mr. Chairman, members of the subcommittee, thank you for the opportunity to speak with all of you today. My name is Charles Segars, and I am CEO of Ovation, a television network devoted to arts and contemporary culture. We believe and know arts programming is good business, and so do many of the corporations that support us through our advertising dollars as well as our distributors. We have companies like Comcast Cable, DirecTV, Time Warner, Dish Network, Verizon, and Charter, who have made our network available in over 40 million households across our nation, and we are growing every day. I represent the private sector and someone who has made the decision to invest millions of dollars into arts. I am here today to urge you, please, to do the same. The most recent Arts and Economic Prosperity Study states that the nonprofit arts and culture industry generates over $150 billion in economic activity every year and employs over 3 million people. That would not happen without the NEA. Now, the impact can be seen in all 50 states and here in the District of Columbia. Mr. Simpson, you spoke about Idaho. In Congressman Mullihan's district alone, 4,000 people. Congressman Price, 7,000 people. Our neighbor, Congressman Calvert, has over 6,000 people in District 44. Los Angeles, where Ovation is based, is a widely recognized city for the driving force behind America's estimated $300 billion of creative exports. There, 1 in 6 jobs is directly related to the creative economy. And creativity is prized as an asset and a skill that every company actively seeks in their workforce. Our nation is a manufacturing-based economy, and it's moving very, very quickly to a software-based one. And it demands an educated, creative, and dynamic workforce. An investment in the arts and arts education is not only good business today, but it helps create the next generation of competitive workers to rule the global economy of tomorrow. And make no mistake, we are being outspent in arts and arts education in the countries of the European Union, as well as countries like China and India. We cannot allow ourselves to fall farther behind. Now, in order to build a dynamic workforce, we have to start young. The arts has the power to transform our children. Students who have the arts as part of the curriculum greatly increase their aptitude in literacy, science, and math. They are far more likely to graduate high school, go to college, and secure full-time employment. In the formative years, arts applied as a core curriculum increased dramatically complex problem solving, team dynamics, and communication skills. That sounds like a competitive workforce in development to me. This development is magnified most importantly in at-risk youth. Exposure to the arts and arts education reduces absenteeism and dropout rates. It even reduces crime in both general and at-risk populations, and I have seen this firsthand. I'm a 10-year Los Angeles Reserve Deputy Sheriff assigned to our most challenged communities, and I can tell you with complete certainty, I have never arrested a child leaving an after-school arts program. Now, that being said, arts education budgets are under siege across the country. Los Angeles Unified School District, which is the second largest in our country, is proposing to eliminate all visual and performing arts teachers in their elementary schools. Elementary schools represent the most critical formative years for our children, and the best case I can tell you is a bad one. These children will miss out on the transformative academic powers of the arts. The worst case is unthinkable. Our at-risk youth will be lost. This cut saves the school district less than 3% of their budget, or $2 per child. Yet the state of California spends $200,000 a year for every child that is incarcerated. So $2 per child for a mandatory arts program in our schools is a much better investment. Unfortunately, this fight is happening in schools all over our nation. If it wasn't for the NEA and the exposure I had to field trips, to our museums, to artists that supported those museums, to the after-school programs I was involved, I would not have the opportunity and the pleasure to shepherd the only arts network in America. I would not have had the opportunity to create and write National Treasure. I would not have had the opportunity to spend $3 or $4 million of production in the great city of Philadelphia. It was because of the NEA after-school programs that inspired me to become part of the arts. So I ask you for your leadership in sustaining arts funding for our federal cultural agencies, because what you do here sets the stage for decisions that are made about the arts at every level of our national, state, and local governments. You represent our commitment to the arts, and that commitment is a measure of the strength of this democracy. Thank you for your time, and thank you for allowing me to testify today.